Hello guys, and welcome back to Supreme Ruler Ultimate. Today we have a 1v1v1 PvP with a new player. Sir Travis is going to be playing with me and Narfi. There's no Shibi, there was going to be. We were actually going to do a 4-player PvP. We'll do that next, but Shibi's power supply died and he won't be getting one for a few weeks. So we figured we'd give Travis some training in a World War II PvP where I am Great Britain, Narfi is the Soviet Union, and Travis is Italy. Leave all your historical prejudices out the window. Italy is actually really good in this. They get the whole Axis to help them. They have as much manpower as the Soviets, like 4 times more than I do. This is a rather balanced setup. Their land army capacity could go toe-to-toe, and Travis's navy is superior to the Soviets. With that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so we're in the game. Of course, a bunch of things we have to do. I haven't played this game a little bit, so I gotta remember what the hell to do. Naturally, lock this minister off from everything. Naturally, put my taxes to maximum as I do. I'm gonna put everything halfway into the bar as I do and just deal with the inflation as we go. What's social spending like? It's not too bad at the start here. Research locks on. I know exactly what I'm going to be researching at the very start. Improved power grid, fission experiments, and mobile steel barges for power, nukes, and oil. That is my first 3 researches that we are going to be going for. Let's make sure to double the research efficiency as well. We're gonna go turn on pretty much full initiative, lock this minister off from everything, double the military salaries here at the very start as well. I'm gonna lock off military goods. We're not gonna be selling any of that. No thank you. We want to hoard these pretty much. Same thing with indie goods. We don't want to be selling any of this at the start because in World War II, these things are very rare. We might as well lock off uranium at the start as well and just hoard the little bit that we have as well. Everything else we're going to sell, including rubber, which we have the most of in the entire world right now. I'll go over my strategies and stuff for this PvP with you guys as we go. Naturally, the goal is just to kill the other 2 players completely, wipe out just as we did in the Cold War PvP recently. Let's go ahead and get the game on very slow so we can try to avoid a desync here. So I have some starting moves I want to do. We don't need to go too much into research at the moment. Oh yes, let's also turn on the military auto build. I need to go through this stuff as well. There's a whole lot of going through this shit I'm going to have to do. The very first move I'm going to do is go into diplomacy, and we're actually going to buy something here. We are going to buy the Panzer 35T from Czechoslovakia, one of the best tanks at the start of the game. A tank so good, Germany pretty much stopped making Panzer 1s and 2s in favor of this thing, and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be giving this out like hotcakes. So I'm going to go around, I'm going to start supporting every country that I want to be good friends with here. So France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Denmark, Norway. We're going with a lot of the classical allies here. We're also going to start opposing some countries as well, which might give you a hint of some of my future plans, starting with Iraq. We're going to go for Iran. We're going to go for Spain, and we're going to go for Portugal. I'll talk about this more in depth later. We're naturally going to support the United States. We're going to support Canada. We're going to support South Africa. We're going to support Australia, New Zealand, and China as well. I will also support Egypt, Yugoslavia, Greece, Albania. We're going to get a lot of supports going right at the start here. Looking over at Eastern Europe, obviously Czechoslovakia, although that won't matter. Poland, that will kind of matter. The Baltics, even though it really won't matter. I haven't decided about Finland and anyone else over here yet. I'll figure that out later. The second Italo-Ethiopian war is in progress. The Italians are pressing into Ethiopia from the north and the south. That is something that Travis, as Italy, has to deal with right now. He is currently actively fighting in Ethiopia, and Germany reoccupies the Rhineland in direct violation of both the treaties of Versailles and Locarno. The German government, as of today, sent troops into the supposed demilitarized Rhineland. We're naturally going to condemn that, but we're going to be keeping a good eye on Germany here. So let's take a look at what our AI is preferring at the start here. So I see the AI prefers the mounted infantry to the Mark I Bren carrier. That's just stupid, because this is kind of dog shit in comparison. You can make it faster, sure, but it's really not worth using, in my opinion, over the Bren carrier. The Bren carrier is just so much better. Let's get rid of all this motorized shit. I'm going to get rid of a lot of this foot-based stuff as well, including the engineers, and I'll leave the Marines there for right now, but I don't think we're really going to utilize them. Mark II Lanchester, that's right. I'm also going to go to France, and I'm going to purchase the 50 AM from them, because it's just better than what I have. We are going to exclude cavalry. We're going to exclude everything except the Lanchester for right now. The tanks, we already have the Panzer 35Ts, good. We're going to exclude everything that is not the Panzer 35T. All you need to know that it is just way better and way more cost efficient than everything that I currently have, and you'll see what my plans are with it as we go along. We have some really, really old artillery from World War I that we're using. Our newest stuff isn't very good at all. Maybe I can get something better from France. Not from France, but I can get a good howitzer from Germany. So we'll get that starting off. It's very cheap. It doesn't really matter. We can get what we can get from them. And we'll probably start excluding a lot of this other crap because, well, it's crap. It's old World War I crap. The World War II one has terrible range. Air defense wise, we start with a decent AA gun. This one from 32 is notably better than this one from 36, so we're gonna go ahead and exclude everything that is not that. I guess I will go ahead and turn on the arms race at the start of the game. We have certain strengths as the UK, but we're going to want to focus quality over quantity. The other two will have quantity in the bag, but I have a plan for that. Make sure there's no unit pathing as well. I usually forget to check that. Go back into the production. Everything else is fine for the time being. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel out these two mounted infantry and that arty and let him just start building something else. I want to see what he makes. And what are we doing with our planes here? France is already coming to us for diplomatic deals. We'll accept that because we want them to favor us. Looks like the Gauntlet is our best starting interceptor, so I will go ahead and I will make only Gauntlets for now. I like working with usually one, maybe 2 or 3 designs tops. I like to narrow it down when I can. Ooh, the tactical bombers. These are going to be an interesting choice. I can't quite decide between the wildebeest and the swordfish, knowing them historically and what they can do, but I can decide between, having them compared to everything else in general. So we will narrow it down right now to the wildebeests and the swordfish. The wildebeests were surprisingly nice in the Japanese theater, even in 41. I know, like, they're biplanes. They're not that good. We don't have anything too much better right now, so we'll work with what we have. I think for the multi-role, the obvious choice is probably going to be the Osprey, so we will stick with the Osprey there. I don't really know what to do with the strategic bombers right now. I understand why the game rates the Blenheim so badly as a strategic bomber. It's honestly more of a attack bomber, but its range is fucking amazing. I'll hold on to both for right now, and oh god, this is gonna be fun. I'm probably gonna stick with the Anson when it comes to patrol planes. The Anson is basically just a long-range multi-role fighter that's just pretty good at a lot of things. Note, a lot of these designs are just going to be replaced eventually anyway. I'm just trying to narrow things down here at the very start. Oh look, the Anson is here too as an transport plane. That's interesting. Well, we can get rid of this dragon reptile. I guess we could stick with this. Its cargo capacity tonnage is pretty similar, and it can at least defend itself. We can make it faster, and its range is still good. Yeah, sure, we'll stick with that. Alright, so planes are mostly figured out. Where'd this fox come from? Now let's go to ships. The pride of the Brits. The ships. I'm going to get rid of all the shorter range subs, because for us, long range is going to be vital. I'm going to keep these two for now. Carriers, we don't want to fuck around with carriers. I don't need or want any carriers. Not in this game, no thank you. And we're probably just going to stick with our longest range cap ship here at the start, the Nelson, and get rid of all the other ones. They may be good, but we only need one standardized cap ship here. They take so long to build anyway. The Nelson takes especially long to build. But a very good, very long range one that will fit my needs. I accidentally just clicked off of everything. Oh god, help me. Get rid of all the other ones. And now the escorts. Italy, what did you do?
Just a little bit of chemical warfare.
Oh my god, did you really?
No.
Oh, okay. Alright, let's start excluding all these shorter range and older escort ships. Definitely the armed merchant ships. I have an idea of what I'm going to do here. I can't fully pick between the EFs, honestly, and the Intrepids right now, so I will let the AI have his way with that. And we move on to patrol ships. Well, this one I feel is a pretty obvious choice that we're going to go with the Grimsby. It's just the most versatile and long range. Not that patrol ships need range, but that's something good about British ships, is they have a lot of range. An X-class transport, that's gross. Civilian cargo in Corintha, that'll work for our needs. We do not have missiles in this time period. What are we making now? Mark 1 Brens and Panzers? That's exactly what I want to see. Thank you very much, AI. I'm sure we've already gotten to scrapping things. Actually, no. If we were, I would have received an alert by now. Let's bump that up to slow so we can get going a little bit faster here. Now, one thing I'm going to do, well, we're going to go over to India here. And this is a big plan I have. India is the biggest colony in the whole game. Very financially stable. I want to turn them into a powerhouse. It is a long-term goal of mine to take India and kind of connect them through to my other colonies in this region. Have them border Narfi up by the USSR so that I can have a powerful colony that can kick his ass, hopefully, in a region he's not expecting to have to fight a lot. Although they're very tech limited. We're going to have to throw a lot of free stuff at them at the start here. They're not going to be able to make very much either. But I'll do what I can to make them strong. And then if we ever lose our mainland, I plan on just annexing India. So I want to get them resource stable as well. You know what? No, you don't even have to pay me. I don't want you to pay me for this. I can already take whatever I want from you for free. I want them to be someone that if I ever lose my mainland, I can just annex them and kind of get it going. Oh yeah, I've also forgot to oppose Ireland. That's right, I forgot all about that. Ding! Who the fuck's doing this shit? We also need to go and start buying technology from America, because we're all going to be doing that. They're way ahead of us in terms of technology in some ways. We want to get what we can from good old Papa America. We're going to have to make a lot of treaties, but some of the treaties are just going to come to us anyway. And while we're doing all this, I want to hand out the design for the Panzer 35 like candy, whether I have to give it for free or not. So France is going to get one. Oh, the Belgians can't even get this yet. They don't have the tech. Well, I'll give them the 6-ton then. I'll give the Belgians the 6-ton. I'm going to give the Panzer to whoever I can give it to out of all the allies that I'm going to be going for. And anyone that can take the Panzer, whether I have to give them tech or not, you know what, pay me for it. Whoever I can give the Panzer to, I'm going to give that to them. Regardless, it's something anyone can access right now. It's just such a good tank, and it actually will be relevant once shit kicks off in 39. And hell, even if there's a Barbarossa in 41, which there probably won't be, and I'll tell you more about that later. We've done a lot of playing before even starting this series, with a little bit of scheming behind the scenes. I've been getting ready for this. We actually only planned this out 2 days in advance, but 2 or 3 days. But I've been planning this. I really have. Let's see, Poland is going to need the Panzer 35 as well. We're not going to give anything to Czech, of course, because, well... Oh, no!
Seriously?
There's a multiplayer sync error. Paraguay has formed the first fascist regime in South America. That's not good for me, but it doesn't matter to me. I'll condemn it anyway, just for the hell of it. As I was saying, though, we are going to try to make India a big threat for our enemies. And, you know, kind of just guard this region. I want to maybe do the same with some of my other colonies, but I know that is not actually really going to work out all that well as this goes on. India is the only one that's truly and impressively independent in terms of technology. They will not be able to get the best technology at the start, but they will be able to get something. And I want to get them making stuff soon at the start here. I can't really modify what they have too much, and for whatever reason I can't build at this little spot right here. They have like 2 other military complexes to start. They have a whole bunch of barracks and seaports and everything split just all around their country. We want to find a good spot to build their first land production. I'm thinking right here is a good spot. They'll build a land production and a barracks there, and then by the time it's done, we should have all the tech and designs they will need to them to start utilizing it. I eventually want to get them up to like 3-1-1, kind of like I did with the Philippines, although well, actually, I went way more with the Philippines. I just threw a bunch of money at them. And we'll probably throw a bunch more money at these guys as well. As a colony, we do take everything from them. They do start with a little bit of military goods production. If they don't need it, they will literally just send it to us. So we're always getting it from them. So there's never any harm to sending them money, because anything excess that they make of anything ever, they're just going to send to us. And they have a huge stockpile of indie goods at the start. So we can actually go and try to get them a little bit more resource efficient here. They have a notable shortage of rubber, oil, and coal at the start here that we early on, we probably fix for them better than we can fix later on. We'll go ahead and place them another oil production at the very least. We do need to find them a coal spot. I don't really think they're making any coal at all. This is pretty close to that oil spot, so we'll go ahead and make one coal spot here, just as we figure out what they're actually going to need in the long run. They look like they might be able to use more ore, but of course their infrastructure spending is still going up just like ours is, so we don't know the full extent of the situation yet. I'm actually going to go buy what military goods the US has right now. They also have a fuck ton of indie goods. If we could just buy like most of that, that would be handy, because let me fucking tell you, we are gonna need it. As of right now, we don't even make enough military goods for our own country. This is something we are 100% going to have to fix, and we're gonna have to watch our loyalty as we do this, because only England is loyal to us. Therefore, only England will give us the best bonuses for this kind of shit. Let's go ahead and plop this military goods right down next to London. Just one for the time being. I know it won't be enough, but again, I am going to feel out everything we can do as well. We are also going to need plenty of oil. We don't start with nearly enough. We'll place down 2 oil at the start here just to get building. We have more than enough coal, more than enough metal ore. We have more than enough power. I'm not going to mess around with any of our power. I'm going to kind of leave it as it is. We don't actually start out with any petrol power. It's all... do we even have any hydro? We have small hydro. And then we just have small coal and a bunch of coal. All right, well, we're going to get rid of the small coal. We don't need the small coal. That just takes up space. The small hydro, I'll get rid of too. We're going to keep all this coal, though. Even if it is coal, coal is very efficient at the time being. And, buddy, are we swimming in coal. We're also going to need to probably make agriculture and timber in the long run. Rubber, we are fine on. We can actually make synths at the start. But rubber, we are fine on, because we're going to be getting a lot of it from Malaysia. And I'll probably be funding Malaysia with my own money. I haven't decided if I'm going to annex them or anything quite yet. But as of right now, we are not going to. And the US is offering me sea transit and supply. That is a historical thing. I will gladly take that. Let's buy up more. Ooh, no, they're going to start charging an arm and a leg for this indie goods. China starts out with a pretty good indie goods supply. We can maybe get some from them for a good price. Yeah, let's get another 300k. Let's look at Japan as well. Decent supply, not the best. They're not willing to sell to us for the best price because, well, they don't like us. We're really going to have to keep our eyes open throughout this playthrough for good opportunities to buy military and indie goods, especially if it can hurt our enemies in some way, yet benefit us.
I'm really surprised how Travis is going to handle those engineers, by the way.
What the hell did you do?
How Travis is going to handle those engineers in Ethiopia.
How many did you send them?
Just a few.
Define a few, because I can't see into Ethiopia.
15 or something.
Okay, well, that's not too bad. I think he can handle them, but you've definitely just made it a lot harder for him.
Yeah.
I gotta get line of sight into Ethiopia so I can watch this shit.
I have it.
I'm gonna get line of sight into Ethiopia. I wanna see this fucking shit. No wonder he doesn't want it to go any faster. Yep,
Oh,
that's
maybe
all.
a little more than 15.
Oh my god, that, yep. You think he'll realize?
Otherwise, I will air it.
Yeah, I mean, Shibi knows to, like, look at the units and see, like, Russian engineers, kinda. He's practiced this, so he should see something wrong once he gets close enough.
True, true.
Are you saving any engineers for, throwing at China or something? Have you decided what's happening over there? Yeah?
I don't know what I will do, but I will save them.
Oh, so you're really gonna fuck up, Japan through China? That'll be interesting. Oh yeah, that's right. Have you sent them any designs so that they can get making things before the invasion happens?
No, you said that would not help them really.
It helps. It's not going to save them, right? Because Japan will have a huge number advantage over them already. But if they can get something pumping out, and I think you have pretty tech-friendly designs you can send them, like that T-35 or something. Is it a T-35? I forget.
Yeah, it's T-35.
Yeah, T-35. Like, that should be pretty tech-friendly. They should be able to use that.
No, they
Maybe.
don't.
Oh, well, shit.
I can't send them the engineer design.
You might just, like, you might be able to just throw technologies at them and see if it unlocks them anything. Speaking of, I still have to send stuff to the Indians. Let's give them mounted infantry. I'll give them Marines as well, but I'm a little unsure about that one. Mark II Lanchesters. We want to give them the best arty we can, of which we can't give them very much. So it's going to have to be something from World War I. Give them a bare bones air defense and a supply truck. And that's all they'll need for right now. Their land production is not done yet, but it's getting there, and they are doing pretty well in terms of money. They haven't even taken out any debt. That's why I like India. They don't need my help. Malay is going to need my help. Almost every other colony will need my help. In terms of air and naval tech, especially naval tech, we can really give them a lot better stuff than we're giving them for land. The tech we could give them there is way more up to snuff, so I'm giving them really the best shit that I can give them in these departments early on here, just so that they have it. I'm gonna go ahead and plop another 2 mill goods factories down, because I am already kind of more feeling the urgency to get these building even on this slower speed. I know we will need indie goods. In the long run, we will need plenty and plenty of indie goods. So I'll just place 3 indie goods factories down as well. We will, of course, need to build way more oil than we have. We already have plenty of indie goods stockpiled because I went around buying a lot of what I could see. We can even get more from China, which is nice. They don't need it. I need it more than they do. Maybe Japan. Okay, it's not that bad of a price. Not too shabby. Oh yeah, I forgot to send the advanced tank designs. Well, they can't even take those designs to places like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, you know, the Commonwealth, but their tank tech seems to be lacking. I may boost them up later, but quite frankly, they can probably handle it themselves. Ooh, good money out of Canada by handing them the Panzer, plus the technology for it. Maybe I already did South Africa, or maybe their tank tech is that bad, because I literally just can't give them anything right now. It doesn't seem like he's able to really crack through to the capital right now.
No.
He got pretty close there.
But he doesn't have enough supply there. He's building some.
It automatically places down some supply depots in some locations. Looks like those ones are already done, actually. Yeah, so he is building some. He's being pretty smart about what he's building, where he's building it, actually. Before this, I did advise Travis on getting the Panzer 35. Looks like he's been too distracted to actually do it, or he has forgotten. Let's talk a little bit about my strategy now that we have a chance to. So basically, my goal here, I have 2 forms of strategies. I have a macro strategy and a micro strategy. So one thing is, I've already kind of gotten each of them to agree to certain plans. I went to Travis first and I made a deal with him. He is not going to invade France come 1939. He's going to let France and Germany spar it out, and in exchange I am not going to directly send any units to France of my own. Done. Okay, that was first part of the plan. I'm also going to help him secure rubber in exchange for a few other things, but mainly it was also just to keep him on my good side and keep him out of France. Now, additionally, let's go on over to Narfi. I went to Narfi and I offered him a deal. Knowing about Operation Barbarossa, Germany, Romania, and the Axis would invade him, and it would be very difficult on him, especially if Travis joined the party too. So I made him a deal that will help me, especially. And this deal's goal is less about the other players, and it's more about France. France starts out with one of the largest militaries land-wise in the entire game in this start date. France starts out very, very powerful, in fact. Because of this, I want France to live. And I know that France declares war on Germany several days after Poland is invaded. As a result, Germany usually ends up fighting over the Maginot, rather than going through Belgium and Netherlands like they do in real life. They declare those wars later when they're scripted to, and they end up actually bum rushing through the Maginot and just winning the war anyway. I'm sending them designs to try to help them modernize their military a little bit so they stand more of a chance then. But in addition, I'm going to have Narfi declare war on Germany. I got him to agree to this. He's going to declare war on Germany literally the moment Poland gets invaded. And he's going to take over Germany. And I told him that I would be sending France some designs and stuff to help them with this, and that I would help with this process, which, as you've seen, I'm already starting to give France better equipment, better designs for this purpose. I'm not sending them units directly, because That's what I said I wouldn't do to Travis, but I am doing this. So essentially I provoked a giant war between the Axis AI and Narfi in 39, with me having to do minimal amounts of work. Travis doesn't know about this. He's going to have to make a very interesting choice when 39 comes around. Rather than just let the Axis invade Narfi, I made this plan, and I did it with the goal of having France live. That's why my plan A, as I call it, should be called Plan France. Because the goal is to get France to live, because if France lives, and if the Low Countries live as well, my channel is very secure by me and what will be my allies. Because they just won't be able to conquer up here. Germany will not be here harassing me. Nobody will be here harassing me. It will just be my friends. Even if they get transit treaties, they're not really going to be able to harass me through my ally that efficiently. And so a air war over Britain should hopefully be evaded. Now, I hope this encourages Travis in 39 to end up fighting Narfi so that their land forces can duke it out. I found out they both have like very large reserve forces. Italy, Travis, has a reserve force of almost 4 million men, and Narfi has a reserve force of something like 5 or 6 million. My reserve force is about 1.3 million overall right now. I think 1.2 million at the start of the game, something like that. Germany is like 1.2 million, 1.6 million. So as you see, they have a giant advantage in terms of fielding large land forces. So I need to get rid of that advantage in some way, and turning my enemies against each other without blatantly siding with one of them is a good way to attrit away at them, and it doesn't put me in the spotlight while I go and I build up India, and I build up myself, and I build up my colonies. Now those are my macro plans. If I lose and then I annex India, that's my like plan C. Plan B is if France falls, then I plan on actively siding with Travis to kick Russia out of Germany, because I think Russia with Narfi will 100% successfully pull off this invasion no matter what. My goal is just to have France live as a big shield in front of me. And, you know, the Low Countries as well. Poland's gonna die. We already know Poland's gonna die. Narfi's actually going to send units into Poland with mutual defense so that he can get an unprovoked war against Germany. And once he gets enough combat to get the unprovoked war, he's gonna back out, wait till Poland dies, and then send his horde into Germany while I have my beefed up France help. And maybe when it comes down to it, Italy will realize, oh hey, Soviet Union is the bigger threat. He'll give me permission to intervene directly should I need to, which hopefully I won't need to. Oh, we already finished mobile steel barges. Good, I have other things that I'm going to be researching as well. I also need to buy more techs from the US. I couldn't actually buy everything all at once just because it costs so much money. So I have to do this little step at a time, especially on this slower speed. And one goal I have is to keep as many of the colonies and empires intact as possible. Now, Travis, in terms of the rubber, I said I would get him. He actually just decided he was going to wait till Germany invades the Netherlands and takes them over because he wants to invade the DEI and take that over. However, I know that's not going to happen because I know the order in which this war goes. Unless Germany really just attrits away at France and the Soviets and holds on, there's no way the Netherlands is even going to get invaded. So it really doesn't matter in the long run. He's not going to get the DEI because Netherlands isn't going to fall without one of the other players invading it. And for right now, they are going to be my shield. And China's drafted a constitution. Well, we know China's going to live thanks to the good old Soviets, so we can definitely go into befriending them. Looks like we already have a bunch of treaties with them as is, so we're going to have to be a little particular about how we do grab these treaties, but definitely let's get some of the basic ones there. Friendship treaties in line of sight so we can see into them. How is Ethiopia going? He's making no progress here whatsoever. We're going to have to ask him about that in a little bit. We're going to have to ask him about that for sure. Let's go ahead and also get a bunch of treaties over here with the good old US of A. If we're really teaming up against Japan anyway, like I feel like I could just go in for the whole fucking formal alliance right now. I might as well. They're not going to do anything. I'm not going to invade them. They're best as a friend. They could throw money at me should I need it. We should also get whatever treaties we are missing with the Commonwealth, which is mainly friendship treaties and like missile defense, and mutual defense, which isn't going to affect a whole lot. So we'll go ahead and go around grabbing that with the rest of the Commonwealth.